I am so excited that we're having this conversation today. We're talking about the incredible breakthrough with these new weight loss drugs. It has truly been a game changer for so many people. And I get that because I was one of those people. I have dealt with weight almost my entire life, starting when I was 11 and my mother dropped me off at Weight Watchers and told me to lie and say I was 13. That's when I thought, there must be a little issue going on here. I guess I'm overweight. And that carried on for lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight. And I was finally in my early 50s. I got on the scale one day and I was over 100 pounds overweight. And I thought, this is ridiculous. I've either been on a diet or beating myself up my whole life, and I'm not going to do this anymore. So I didn't want to be unhealthy though, so I gave up white sugar and white flour. And I lost about 50 pounds with that, and then I got into hypnosis, which we'll talk about that in a little bit, and I lost the other 50, and so it's been about 15 years, and it feels great. And so I know that struggle, and I also know how incredibly good it feels when you get that under control.
Yeah.
And so that's why I am so happy these drugs are out. But then there's another side to this, is I'm seeing history repeating itself. And when I first got into hypnosis, this was about 15 years ago, and I was seeing all these people that had had the lap band or the sleeve, and they'd been really successful. It's not like the surgery doesn't work, but a year or two later, they were gaining all their weight back. So I know these help, but I also know that there's other pieces to the puzzle.
Yes.
And that's what we're here to talk about today. So I have two amazing women to join us on this. First, Julie, she is a nutritionist, but she also is a pharmacist, which gives her an incredible perspective and knowledge base to talk about what these drugs are actually doing and how they're doing. But more importantly, Julie and I connected because we took the same health and wellness program at Harvard Med School. And since then, she and I are both two sides of the coin to success. I help people through hypnosis get your brain in the game and change all of these old core beliefs like, food is comfort and food is a reward. And then Julie teaches them how to eat right. Because prior to this, I would have people come to me fighting this whole thing. And then, yes, they would change their brain, but they still didn't know how to eat right. And so that's what she does that. And then we have Ashton. Thank you so much for joining us.
And excited.
Thank you, Ashton.
Yes, I'm excited.
How brave is she? She is going to tell you her whole story from beauty pageants, gaining weight, losing weight, being on the shots, and where she is today.
Yes, I'm an open book. So
nice of you. Thank you.
Because this is great. This is what we need to hear, is exactly where people are and how to get them out. So, Julie, can you tell your incredible story, how you went from being a very successful pharmacist, which you work really hard to become a pharmacist, and then go, I think I'm going to do something different. So.
Yeah. Sure. So my idea of being a pharmacist in a community pharmacy came from my dad, who owned a pharmacy. And he knew all of his patients and had wonderful opportunity to care for the families who came to his pharmacy. And then by the time that I graduated from pharmacy school, things were different. And I realized about 20 years in, after I worked for a pharmaceutical company actually, and went back to working as a pharmacist, I realized that there was really no opportunity for me to provide any lifestyle modification and counseling to patients. I was so busy dispensing the medications that there was really no opportunity. And I almost felt like the part that was most important to me, which was being next to the patients, kept getting farther and farther away. And so in 2008, I started Kinetic Fuel because it was an opportunity for me to use food as fuel and food as medicine. And so the food as medicine piece was really resonated with me. And I worked as a pharmacist, and I started my private practice in nutrition, Kinetic Fuel, in 2008. 2011, I left pharmacy as a bench pharmacist and focused on my private practice. So I was really frustrated that I really didn't have time to counsel patients, and I transitioned to nutrition because it was an opportunity for me to use food as medicine. And so I continued working as a pharmacist and started my private practice. And in 2011, I went full-time with my private practice. I worked primarily with athletes in a wide range of sports, including in 2015, I started working with the Bruins, and I've been the Bruins team nutritionist now for 11 seasons. But in that time frame, I've gotten older, and I've seen more and more of my patients who are coming to me, parents of the athletes who said, do you also work with adults? And moms who are going through perimenopause and menopause who really need some information. And now that the GLP-1s have gained so much popularity, I see patients and clients coming in and who really need the nutrition education and counseling so that they can be successful.
Mm-hmm. That's
Great. And now, Ashton. So Ashton has seen both of us professionally.
Yep.
And has a great story to tell, so let's hear it.
I started my pageant journey. I actually was not someone who, like a girl who was crazy about pageants. I have an older sister, 2 younger brothers. I, during these years, had always felt a lot heavier than I think I actually was. And I definitely didn't have a good relationship with nutrition. Mm-hmm. I was eating like the bare minimum to like look a specific way, and I never had a relationship with food that was eating for fuel, like food is medication. I remember at 17 being like, I feel really big, and making all of, again, my decisions off of how can I feel the smallest,
right?
And learn how to fuel your body. And when you make a decision to eat, it's not just what is the least amount of calories I can put in my body, but like where are the greens and the fiber, and how is your body going to actually be able to carry you through the day? Because I was lethargic, I was tired all the time, and I felt like my friends weren't having a similar experience. I felt like all my friends around me were kind of consistent, and I was always the one like gaining and losing, and gaining and losing, and gaining and losing. So I felt at that time very in control of the process, and it was all too familiar, feeling like I'm back to high and then it's low. I gained 70 pounds with my daughter. I then had a really hard time losing it, like really hard time. And I remember people saying, you're not eating for 2, you know, all the things. You don't have to eat for 2, don't gain all the weight, take it from me. I gained the weight. It's so hard to get it off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, you're talking to a pro. Like that's gaining and losing is my
what I do.
Yeah. I knew I wanted to try this GLP-1 that everyone was doing and was so successful on. And at that point I was like, I am so heavy. I am 230 pounds. I cannot get this weight off. I couldn't recognize myself. And so I started the process of the GLP-1, which is, I think, a miracle drug. And
it is a
very
miracle
excited to
drug.
talk about
I am
because-
so excited that it's here.
Yes.
Like, I don't want anybody to think for 1 second that we don't think this is amazing. It's just getting the most bang for your buck with it. That's it.
Yes, and I admittedly feel I could have done so much better.
This is the whole thing, is we wake up one day and we say, this is it, I'm so heavy, I'm gonna go on a diet. You go on a diet, you lose the weight, I'll lose the weight, and then I can eat normal.
Exactly.
Nothing has changed.
That's what the medication needs to be. It needs to be a bridge to a place where you have learned how to eat, and your head is in the game in a good mindset, so that you have a healthy relationship with food, and then you can continue on. And clients will ask me often, what happens when I get to my goal? And I usually say, not a lot changes, because that's true. Nothing, you know, you're eating in a sustainable way that's allowing you to get to a place where you are your healthiest. And then you want to stay there. So you don't go back to eating the way that you were, making sure that you're having enough protein, that you're nourishing your body, that you're eating enough calories, at least to your basal metabolic rate, which is the base number of calories that your body needs just to blink your eyes, beat your heart, pump your blood, so that all of the systems in your body are healthy, rather than just starving yourself or thinking, I only ate one thing today.
Right.
It doesn't matter what it was.
Right.
Could have been a Snickers, or it could
Yeah.
have been
Right.
a Chick-fil-A, right?
Yeah.
Because you have the calories, you have the allowance in your calories, but what you're not doing, or what many people don't do, is optimally nourish their body, and that can come back with other health issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would just eat till my plate there was nothing left, because to me that was just
Right.
like eating a meal. And then we grew up like with seconds, because my mom was always like, "Who
Seconds.
wants more? I love that you guys love this," So I feel like portion control, I was very mindful of like, okay, yes, the medication obviously is assisting in quieting
Yeah.
the food noise, making you feel
Yes.
like you don't need a ton, but you just ate half a burger and you feel satisfied.
Think about having a drink of water. I'm thirsty. Okay, perfect example. My mouth gets a little dry. I drink a little water. I don't pay any attention to how much is left.
Right.
When I'm done, you stop.
Right.
Yeah.
Naturally, our body is designed to do that exact same thing. The shots bring that back up.
Right.
So that's something I do in hypnosis too, is turn the volume up on that, so that when your body has had the proper amount, you just stop.
Right.
Effortlessly. The reasons that we overeat, the reason that we have the relationship we do with food, is all core beliefs. Our subconscious, so I'm going to take a little aside here, is we have three minds. We have our conscious mind, our critical thinking mind that makes decisions, that says, oh, I'm going to wear a black turtleneck today because I like a black turtleneck. We have unconscious, bodies are buried there, we don't even go there. But our subconscious, by far the hugest. And that's where all of our automatic thoughts, beliefs, behaviors, all of that is there. And it has two primary jobs. One, make life easy. That's where our automatic thoughts and behaviors. And two, to sort of protect us. But let's talk about automatic behaviors first. Is the difference with the subconscious is it doesn't like change. So once it locks something in a core belief, which is actually a physical neural pathway in our brain that says this is what we like or this is what we do, it doesn't like to change it. And the very first core belief we have is food is comfort. Because we're an infant, we're crying, who knows, we could be hungry, whatever, but we are picked up, warm, heartbeat, and then a boober bottle. Food is comfort.
One of the things that I'll ask clients to do who are taking a GLP-1 is photograph their food for a day so that they can go back after they've come off of the medication and see what did their day look like when they were nourishing their bodies with good quality nutrients. What did their portions look like? How did they get through the day?
Right.
Because for somebody who comes off of the medications, your appetite comes
Oh,
right
it does.
back.
The pen is sometimes can feel like a safety blanket. I'm not
Right.
hungry.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm hungry. I'm on the pen. There's no
Right.
way. There's no way I can
Right,
finish
it's
all
not
that on the
really
pen.
hunger.
Right.
It's not really hunger. Let me drink some water and it'll go away.
Right.
Let me have a quick
Right.
Snickers, and
Right.
it's the same hit.
Yes.
So if you're not paying attention to your body and fueling correctly,
Yeah.
that's when I think you can get into trouble when you come off it.
Right.
Because what am I going to go do off it? Grab the Snickers? You know, like your
Right.
body does respond differently.
And the protein and produce, I think, is also really, really important.
Yeah.
Like, you know, making sure that you're getting protein at every meal, making sure that you're
Yes.
getting the correct amount of protein throughout your day, because
Yep.
that's going to stabilize your blood sugar and keep you fuller longer, support your muscle.
Yeah.
And then you really need to add colors to your plate.
Just like our car needs fuel. But if I went and put a Diet Coke in my car's gas tank, it certainly isn't going to go, and it's probably going to ruin my car. So just because we can put something in our mouth and chew it and swallow it doesn't make it fuel.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's almost as if our bodies are designed to want clean, real foods. And that's what we're drawn to. So it's almost as if we don't even see those other things. So you're walking into a Super Bowl party and you feel really good and you feel really confident and you're excited to be there because it's the people that are there, and maybe you're a little bit hungry and you look over at the table and, oh, there's carrots and there's some more veggies over here, and that's great.
And you've brought a shrimp cocktail.
Yeah.
Perfect,
Right?
yes.
You bring something,
Yes.
you take
You will
control, you bring something so
Yes.
that you know what.
That there's something
Yes,
to-
you know
yeah,
that there
absolutely.
are options
Yes.
that you can have. That's really, really important.
But just remind yourself, when you're hungry the next time, like, it's just a feeling, you
Yeah.
can handle it.
Yeah.
The mismatch between the conscious and the subconscious, this is You lay in bed at night and you say, tomorrow I'm not going to eat the donut. And you believe that with every fiber of your being, right?
For patients who take GLP-1s and have the proper support, the proper nutrition education and counseling, and are measuring their body composition, you don't have to lose muscle. So if you're eating at least to your basal metabolic rate, which I have a scale that measures, and we're also making sure that we're measuring your skeletal muscle mass in pounds, your body fat in pounds and in percentage, your hydration information. We're able to see what the weight that you're losing is made of. And so if patients are prioritizing protein in a way where they're making sure that they're getting at least to the recommended amount, and that varies for everybody, and they're eating nutrient-dense foods, and strength training, then you don't necessarily have to lose muscle. So I think the takeaway here is that a GLP-1 suppresses appetite, slows gastric emptying, and makes you feel fuller longer. It quiets the food noise, so you're not constantly thinking about food. So you really need to put yourself on a schedule to make sure that you're eating enough throughout the day, so that your body is fully nourished and can function. And you said you felt better when you were eating versus just starving yourself.
You feel a lot better. There's definitely a correlation.
This has been amazing. It really has. And Julie, you have so much knowledge, and I personally have learned so much from you, and so all of our mutual clients. But there are people out there that are going to watch this that can't afford to go see you and can't afford to come see me. So what are 3 things, 2 things, 4 things that you would suggest that would make a big difference on this for them?
That's a good question. I think a couple of things that I would focus on would be drinking more water and less of everything else, so that you're fully hydrated and you're not just wasting non-nutritive calories. I would say protein and produce at every meal, so making sure that that you're choosing some sort of protein, at least the size of your palm, and then add 3 colors to your plate that will provide fiber and vitamins and minerals and micronutrients. And then the third would probably be, if you're really not feeling hunger, to attach your meals to something else that you do throughout the day, so that you're at least getting some routine food to anchor your day. How about you, Susie? What do you think would be the 3 things that you would say to somebody to help their mindset?
Great. Is first, look at all of the reasons that you think that you used to eat the way that you did. Is food comfort? Is food a reward? Let's start with comfort. Make a list of things that truly are comforting. Is it calling a friend? Is it going for a walk? Is it going on your phone for a few minutes? Taking a shower? Dancing? Whatever it is that's, again, today's truth. That's what really does feel comforting. And again, if you eat these things, and now you're on these shots, this is expensive, you're doing all of this, so you really tend to beat yourself up if you're eating crap and too much. So comfort, same thing with a reward. What is a reward? People say to me all the time, I work so hard and I'm really tired at the end of the day and food is my reward. What's a recent reward that you've gotten? An award professionally, or even a friend said, oh my God, thank you so much for doing this. Or when you do something, someone does something that makes you feel good about what you've done. You feel good when they do it. An hour later, a week later, when you think about it, that's a reward. So it's finding those shifts and focusing on them, because again, all of these automatic behaviors, most of them were created through repetition. So now we're going to change this, and you're going to do this on your own, is repeating that this is what feels good today. It feels really good to eat all the foods that Julie just told us to eat, because we feel really healthy over and over again. So that's a big one. That is how you're really beginning to change your mindset. The other is urges. A typical urge lasts 90 seconds. And most of us, not all of us, are pretty good at suppressing urges. And people go, oh, I'm terrible at it. Okay, so do you tell everybody exactly what you're thinking in the moment? Not so much. right? Do we buy every single shiny thing that we like? Shoes, maybe, but most of us are really pretty good. We're constantly suppressing urges.
Right.
So pay attention to that. Notice that you're suppressing your urges and say, I am good at this. Because whatever we tell ourselves, the story we tell ourselves is what happens. Is, think about it. Here's a little test. Wake up tomorrow morning and decide, is it going to be a good day or a bad day? Pick one of those. And notice and say, today is going to be a good day. And you'll notice that the silliest little things is, oh, I knew it was going to be a good day because the light is green when I get to go through. We end up, it's just like when you're pregnant. You notice everyone pregnant. You get a red car. Everyone's got a red car. So be so aware of what you say to yourself, your story. And last, no more beating yourself up. When we beat ourselves up, we feel like crap, then we get to treat ourselves like crap.
Yeah.
So own it. If you decide to eat a big bag of chips, say, I'm choosing to eat this bag of chips. I know it's not good for me. I'm going to feel horrible afterwards, but I'm choosing to do this. Choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you do want, the tools that we gave you before is if you're doing this on your own, but if you want some help, I am definitely here to help with either private sessions, which you can do in person in Newport, Rhode Island, or anywhere in the world via Zoom. And yes, Zoom is just as effective as being in person. I also have an online program, which is Break Free 21 Steps to Get Fit. And in it, it's very meaty, and there are a lot of hypnosis recordings that are great. You can listen to over and over again, a lot of information, and we do live Zooms. I also have a book, Break Free of Negative Beliefs and the Weight that Clings to Them. So, options, and we have live Get Fit days. So please check out my website, SuzieNance.com, SUZINANCE.com, or call 401-835-1736. And please text, because I'm horrible about getting to voicemails and returning them.
And you can find me at kineticfuel.net, or you can text or call me at 617-921-4237.
Okay, you can so do this. This is an amazing tool using the shots, the pen, but get the backup and do it right. And then it is so awesome to be able to not be thinking about food all the time and just doing what's right for your body. It feels amazing.
Life-changing.
All right, thanks. Life-changing.
Right.
Yes.